Hey Seth.
Paso Holmes.
Well, I finally left that hangout after I got threatened to be gang raped.
Yeah, because if you disagree with genocide, you deserve gang rape. Because rape is bad.
Yes.
I mean, do you see the total absurdity of it? Muslims rape people, so they're all bad. So genocide is the answer. If you don't agree with genocide, then you should be raped.
Yes, because all Catholics were Nazis. I'm kidding. Of course.
Yeah, it's fucking absurd on every level. I'm an atheist. I'm a strong atheist. I think religion is wrong. I just don't think that people who practice religion should be killed. How fucking ridiculous. I mean, it's self-defeating, right? Religions are bad because they lead to people killing other people of religion. So what should we do? Kill them.
Everyone goes into war with God on their side. I'm not an atheist or agnostic. I'm actually a strong Christian. But
Right.
I'm
I
not
gather
your
that.
average Christian. I believe that other people have the right to believe whatever the fuck they want. But if you're hurting another person, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's too complicated for the fedora-wearing atheist.
Yeah, well, I consider everyone in that hangout to be my enemy now, including my
Honestly.
friend, the Mark, because he sat there and let them insult me. Had a mini anxiety attack when I was threatened.
Hey,
I was very upset when they threatened you and your wife, if you have a
I
wife.
don't have a wife, by the way, but the idea was
Mark, go fuck yourself.
What, me?
How
What
could
did I
you
do?
how could you sit in a room and have someone insult your friend?
No, I did stand up for you. We're representing the same side.
You did not stand up for me when someone said, I am hopeful that
I
a
did. I
Muslim
actually did.
gang
I
rape.
said you shouldn't be telling
No,
people.
no, no, I didn't hear it. It must have been after I left.
Because I did. I told them. I said you shouldn't be telling people that, no matter who they are.
well, yeah, like I said,
Still, I mean,
Okay, I
either way,
forgive you. I
you
forgive you.
shouldn't let people get to you that way. Either way.
I have
I mean,
thin
okay,
skin.
maybe I didn't stand up for you enough, but still, don't let things like that get to you really easy.
I have thin skin. I will admit this.
Yeah, if somebody told me they helped I got raped, I'd just be like, okay, fine, or whatever the fuck, man.
Yes, but you don't say that to a survivor.
A survivor.
You don't say that to anyone. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'll be honest, I really don't give a shit that he told me that if he would have told me to go rape myself, you know what I mean? Or, I mean, go get
Rape
raped.
yourself.
Because, like, let's be real, he already embarrassed himself. He's kind of exposed himself as a dumbass, so.
That whole hangout is a joke.
right? What's absurd? I mean, what's his name? What's the guy's name? The guy who ran the hangout.
Outbound?
That was
Done.
down.
Outbound.
Yeah. Well,
Outbound's room.
Outbound is almost reasonable. It's just he can't see the pure absurdity of saying that rape is bad, so we have to kill everyone who is in this religion. That so okay, rape is bad, so we should genocide these people who some of them rape. And if you don't agree, it's perfectly reasonable to say that you should be raped. It's absolutely absurd.
It is absurd.
The conclusion to rape is bad is we should punish rapists.
Yes, I agree.
That's it.
The title of this hangout is Be Nice or Out You Go. Anyone is welcome to join. Idiots need not apply. But, Mark, go type in victim, survivor, warrior, and see what you get on Google. There are two things for survivor. Survivor of cancer and a survivor of sexual abuse. I have not had cancer, so it's obvious that I've been sexually abused.
Well, there's one other thing that comes up regularly, and that's HIV survivors, of AIDS survivors, but less
But
common than cancer.
there is no cure for AIDS, though.
Right.
So I guess you can survive it, but eventually
there's
it kills you.
Magic Johnson, who has had HIV for a long time and has lived a perfectly productive life and hasn't died yet.
But he
Or
still
even,
has it.
I don't even think he has AIDS yet. I don't think it's even advanced to AIDS, has it? He just has HIV.
Oh.
Just has HIV, as if it's not a big deal, but at least it's not AIDS.
Not a big deal. It's like diabetes. It's not a big deal, but you can lose a foot or two. Today, my pastor and I got into an argument because he said to me, why do people, like, 'cause there's CAN, Central Alberta AIDS Society Network or whatever it's called. It's called Turning Point now. And they have night watch, and they hand out clean needles and clean pipes and condoms and food and stuff to crackheads and homeless people. And he said to me, why do they give them stuff? Shouldn't they be supplying clean living places and education and stuff like this? I'm like, yes, but that doesn't work on them. So you don't produce more bad things. Like, you don't want them to die, in this sense.
Right.
But
I
he
gotta say, Seth, you're like one of the smartest guys I've met on here, bro. You know, not to, fucking, suck your dick or whatever, but you get the idea.
I'm flattered, thank you.
Yes, Seth is a smarty pants. I've known him for a while now. I took a break from Google, so I don't think you remember me, but for a while you and Gus didn't like me because I'm friends with certain people.
I don't remember not liking you. I really don't remember that. If I seemed that way, that wasn't the case. I might have disagreed with you on some things, but I don't think you should be raped. That's for sure.
Yeah. By the way, no offense, but when I look at you, Seth, especially your cheeks, you remind me of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I'm okay with that.
I'm
He reminds
sorry.
me of the wrestler Bray Wyatt.
So, what would you guys like to discuss in this hangout? I know it's my hangout and I should think of something, but I never think of a good topic.
I don't know. I'm still kind of
Let's
reeling
talk
from
about
that last hangout. That was just so bad.
Let's talk about you and me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm a bit shocked about how no one flagged that hangout. But I have blocked Brandon Cropper, and if I see him in anyone's hangout, I will report that sucker like no tomorrow. He's now on my hate list, and I don't have a hate list.
Yeah, I don't really give a fuck about Brandon, to be honest. He's just another dumbass.
Well, at least this is a distraction from my depression.
So I'm actually gonna flag it because why the fuck not? What's wrong with this post? It's
What?
hateful, harassing, or bullying.
Bro.
Harassing me, harassing someone else, or hateful towards a group. Jeez, it could be either one of those.
I wish there was an all above option. Just go hateful towards a group because they're hateful towards Muslims, they were hateful towards other users.
Yeah, don't bother flagging it and shit, man. Don't get me wrong, I don't condone anything he said, but You know, still there's no need to go that far. He's just let an idiot be an idiot and embarrass himself.
Good point.
Yeah, but what about if someone like believes them?
Well,
John
let me put
May-
it to you this way. Let me put it to you this way. I really disagree with Rose Patton. I think a lot of her views are fucking stupid and retarded, and nothing makes sense to what she says. But I don't flag her. You know, I just let her fucking enjoy the life, pretty
Yeah,
much. You know
'cause
what I mean?
Rose Patton's greatest crime is she's an idiot. She doesn't tell people that they deserve to be raped and killed. John May, on the other hand, has legitimately privately messaged me on Hangouts telling me he's going to get bikers to come to my house and lock me up and tie me up.
But he's a troll, man. That's what he does. He doesn't do anything he fucking says.
That doesn't make it okay.
That doesn't make it okay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he does. I'm just saying, you know, he's a troll. You know, it's what they do.
I don't know he's a troll. I've never seen him act any other way. As far as I'm concerned, he's sincere in everything he says, and why should I take it any differently?
He's just a really good
I
troll,
didn't
man.
know Johnny May was still around, honestly. Like, is he still on Google Plus? I haven't seen him in a while.
That's Bulldog.
Really?
Yeah.
At least
Yeah,
that's
Johnny
what I've
May
been
is
told.
Bulldog. Yes, Johnny May is
Oh.
Bulldog.
I'm behind in the times. That's what I get for taking a hiatus and being in the mental hospital. Damn, fiddlesticks.
Yeah, Bulldog's a Johnny May is a really hardcore troll nowadays. That's why I call him the legend, the myth, Bulldog, because you know he's a troll and he can troll anyone pretty much.
I'm gonna
He's
call him
definitely
what Rogue Infidel calls him now, the Chihuahua. He got a big bite. Big bark, a
Hello.
tiny bite.
I was informed
Well,
I was going
I
to come in here and be informed about two sides of a debate that took place.
No, actually, we were just talking about. I was about to just talk about the original reason I was brought into that hangout, which was to talk about whether or not Bart Ehrman is a historist or a mythicist. Which he's a historist. I don't know what I wanted to talk about. I mean, before we got to the discussion we talked about, Lindsay, was I wanted to talk to Down about this quote-unquote new video that says that Bart Ehrman isn't and never was a historist, which is bullshit. He's clearly a historist.
I don't really go into Juicy's hangouts because I always get my feelings hurt in them, so I tend to avoid them.
What do you mean, White?
But, Buck,
Yes.
What do you want to know, White?
go into the live feed.
What
And watch
the only reason I'm here is because Angry Mark told me that he was going to tell me what happened earlier, and then he's been telling me to come in for 5 minutes, and I come in and it's a completely different thing, and that's fine, but I just want to know what happened.
Yeah, there was a couple of people, Jod May and what's his name, Jason something, and who are basically advocating that people who don't think that Muslims should be killed en masse should be raped. The reason? Because some Muslims rape.
Yes, they said, I hope you get raped. You and your
And then they
wife,
said-
that's imaginary. And then because I disagreed with them and told them to produce evidence for their claims, and even said to an extent that they were right to an extent but explained the position and gave them evidence towards it speaking against that, and how modern people who have modernized in their culture against unmodernistic things.
Unmoderized thing, yeah. My personal position is if they want to do that thing and that's what their culture promotes, and there's clearly millions of them, they should be allowed to do it, but in their own land. They shouldn't be allowed to do it in civilized society. I'm not promoting I'm not a proponent of a mass genocide against those people, because I think that, fuck, man, if you've got a belief system and you've got a number of subscribers to that belief system, and you're not going to, and it's not going to be efficient to wipe it out. Nor should it be, nor should we handle it that way. I think that you should go where that belief system is promoted and can be preserved and progressed. So,
And where is it promoted?
Most parts of the Middle East, from what I've read.
Most parts. What about South Asia? What about America? What about Canada? What about the UK? What about Australia?
As
What about
I said,
China?
these are modernized places that disagree with this belief system. I'm talking about where they can practice it freely. I think it's a horrible thing to do, but fuck, man, you're not going to be able to wipe it out efficiently, and there's so many people that want that type of lifestyle. Give it to them, but don't give it to them anywhere near that they can kill people, right? Or well,
So,
kill, you know.
It's okay to take someone's innocence? That's what you're saying.
No, that's horrible. But you can't efficiently. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I just woke up. You can't efficiently wipe out that belief system, and I'm not going to advocate a fucking full-on genocide. Plus, that wouldn't wipe out the belief system anyway. So let them practice it, but don't let them practice it around other people who don't practice it.
You know, it does do a pretty good job of. You know, it does actually do a pretty good job of changing that belief system that it's okay to rape people.
Educating them, but I don't think that could be done efficiently as well. Wait, I'm sorry?
Liberal ideology does a pretty good job of disavowing people of that belief.
Well, I still think even under those circumstances, you can put them in a classroom, you know, fucking 23 hours of the day, and I still think that there's going to be a lot of them who still want that lifestyle. So I want to give it to them. I don't want their
liberalism.
And you know, another thing is though, this isn't just
nothing. You just gotta keep going.
Well, no. I see what you're saying, but this isn't just like a petty fucking. They did learn it growing up, but this isn't just like a petty nothing belief that you could talk to them about. This is their fucking Lord and Savior. This is their, this is the holiest of holies. This is the apex of their life, of their thought process, or whatever you phrase that as. You know, so it's not like this is going to be something.
It's not, and liberalism isn't just a petty thing that tells them that it's wrong and slaps them on the wrists. It's an idea that culture that one culture wins out over another when it's actually better, right? Liberal culture is actually better when people are allowed to walk down the street. When people can walk down the street without fear of being raped or mugged or shot or attacked, and they're welcomed into other people's places of business, people tend to disagree with the advocating for actually hurting somebody like that.
I think the concept of God in general for any religion overrides common sense in almost every situation, and I'm certain you've seen that. So that's where my big disagreement would come in. As I said, if this was just a purely culture thing with no religious element to it, I would agree with you. Yes, that makes complete sense. But when God, I mean, you see it with any Christian, with anybody who has any faith, it triumphs over any type of common sense 9 times out of 10.
There's no such thing as common sense in the first place.
Common sense is just an appeal to popular opinion.
There is such thing as common sense, though.
My common sense.
Well, I think commonality in itself is just formulated by the society. So I would agree. It's just an appeal to popular opinion.
Individual.
But that is, by the very definition, common sense because it's common, and people know that's right or wrong, right? So, I agree with you that it's not an objective standard for common sense, but I do think that, societally, if you live, so. But I don't see what that had to do with my point. But I do, sure, I'll grant you that, sure.
Okay.
I can rephrase common sense if you prefer that. It doesn't have to be common sense. It could just be what I would deem logical, or what a majority of civilized society would deem logical. And if you take up a fucking issue with that phrase, then I don't know what to tell you. Think about it.
Okay, can I ask, are you actually a white nationalist or just a troll?
Okay, all right. Well, I would say that I am a white nationalist because I believe in true diversity and true equality. And also, I am white and I am a nationalist, meaning I believe in my nation, so I meet every definition.
And what nation is that?
America. But as I've always said, I mean, the theoretical white nation that I promote could literally be situated anywhere. But I think it would be, it would be easiest to put America. Actually, I don't know if that's true, but,
I don't know. I'm Canadian, so I don't know anything about America, really. So
that's understandable.
I'm just a silly Canadian with my flappy head. I'm kidding. South Park reference.
But no, I am not a troll. I very rarely do anything that I would deem trollish. Other people may disagree with that and may say, well, this, but I don't think that most of the stuff. Most of my rhetoric is trollish, if any, because I stand by all of it, right?
Yes, this is. I will remind you, though, the title of this hangout is Be Nice or Out You Go. So try to be nice to each other.
No, I mean, I think that, well, nice is an incredibly subjective term, and I think that we all agree that we promote the free and open sharing of belief systems and different ideas, as long as you have a logical basis for those ideas, or at least have a semi-logical basis, or one you deem is logical, right? You know,
Yeah,
i.e.
but
Christians.
when...
So,
What?
i.e. Christians. Means
Are you a
Christians
Christian?
think that they're being logical when they say I believe in God because it's their almighty being, right? So we can accept that just based on the idea that, okay, well, if they believe in it strong enough and they're not being disruptive, let's just let them say it, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, I'm a Christian.
All right. No, that wasn't meant to be an insult. I was just giving a potential exception for the rule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just... Everyone has the right to breathe, but not everyone has the right to do everything they want.
Okay, sure.
Sometimes people think it's okay to insult people. Is it okay to insult people?
I'm of the opinion. This may be an illogical opinion. I'm not quite certain, but it's what I've always held. Maybe I need to reevaluate it. But I'm currently of the opinion that if you think something's right, then you should fucking pursue it, right? I mean, I thought that that's good, but I mean, fuck, man. You know, if you a philosopher, a good philosopher, in my opinion, once said, if you don't have something you'll live and die by, you're not ready to live. I think that's a good quote, and I do believe in that. So, you know, if you feel that you need to do something, you know, do it. Doesn't justify it in my mind or anybody else other than your own, and I think that that would create a fairly disruptive society. But I do think in the for the you know, for the goal of living a meaningful life, which is what I think everybody wants, I think that that is a good way of doing things, relatively. When you compare it to the alternative, which is just going through what society deems normal and, you know, going through the motions and just going to whatever the latest trend is in belief systems and fashion and whatnot, I think that that's a far better alternative.
Far better. Okay.
And living a meaningful life, I mean. But meaningful, once again, subjective. So, you know what? You fucking figure it out. I don't know.
Meaningful life. I don't even know what that is these days. So...
Well, as I said, the reason that I say meaningful life is because I think living a meaningful life, and I understand this is a heavily debated thing right here, what is meaningful, right? But I do think that living a meaningful life is living by your ideals to the fullest extent that you possibly can. And if that takes the form in going to fucking class every day, right? And then getting straight A's, and then going to high school and getting straight A's, going to college and going out to your fucking local business, and then going, you know, rising through the ranks and all that, then that's what that is. But it could also take the form in a number of other things, and, you know, it depends on what you believe in. And I think living by what you believe in and living and dying by what you believe in, that doesn't always mean a destructive end. It just means that, you know, be dedicated.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, man, I agree to an extent. Because I'm reasonable at this point in time, but in an hour and a half I will be unreasonable. So.
Why is that definitely going to happen?
Personal stuff, but.
Okay.
I will not be online when that happens. I'll be somewhere else.
Well, I wish you the best.
Yeah, because I can't handle... I have thin skin. I am not thick-skinned at all.
Well, I don't think that the best position for any aspect of you is to just accept it. I would say try and overcome it, or try and change it, whatever you would phrase that, right? So, I don't know. Like, if you don't think that you're willing to, or at least open to having a debate that could get a little raunchy, or could get a little, I suppose, mean in nature, if that's the correct phraseology, then I would say try and change that, right? I'm not saying tolerate being around negativity 24/7, but I'm just saying, you know, if you think that there's an aspect of you that you think is not good or not productive, then change it, right?
If someone calls me a piece of shit every day and then one day they say, I love you, I won't believe them because they called me a piece of shit for 25 years.
And listen, as I've always said, this is another good quote. There's a huge difference between an insult and a critique, and you need to understand which is which. You know, I understand most people do, but there are situations where most people get horribly offended by the simplest thing, such as a critique, right? You know, so I would say just try and learn the difference between the two, and if you're being insulted at nonstop and there's no logical opinions coming from those insults, just hey, you're a XXX and X. Well, then there's no point in being there. But if somebody's trying to have a civil debate and they may say some raunchy language or throw in a situation that might not be the most appropriate or PG or societally acceptable, then, you know, try and work around that, I would say. Plus, I think that would only benefit you in the end, right? You know, it would open you up to having more than just the just the plain as bread type of debates, right?
Well, I don't really debate a lot of people because I'm not about to change someone's position. I would like to change the position, but I cannot do that. I can only give a suggestion to them.
Yeah, no, I'm with the Christians
here for
in that.
discussions in communication and to meet new people. I'm not here to debate anyone.
Yeah, that's understandable. I would say I fit the more Christian perspective. I don't really try and convert people. I just try and enlighten them on my position and why I feel my position, because my position isn't a popular one, and I can accept that, but I do feel as if it is a righteous one and a noble one and one that is worthy of being pursued. So, therefore, I try and educate people, and I understand that I won't I presumably won't change anyone's opinion because I've spoken to Jacob. He's a good guy. Christian Jacob. I don't know if you know him, but he's a really good guy, and he's been basically doing that, but with the Christian philosophy, or the Christian religion, however you would phrase it, for 7 years, and he says that he doesn't even think he's converted one person. So I don't in any way expect to convert anyone to my way of thinking, and it's perfectly fine. But I like educating people on my positions. So, I mean, whether you believe them after an hour of talking to me or not is irrelevant. Although I have met a number of people in my personal life who are like, oh, yeah, you're right. In fact, it's almost everyone I speak to not in this community. So I like that, but whatever. So I'd like to think that in my time trying to spread my message, I think that I've at least opened a number of people's eyes, and I like that. Anyway, I'm going to stop being braggadocious. So, thank you, Mark. Thank you for educating me on what happened, though.
Yeah, okay, so you're from America. Do you think America is the greatest country in the world?
If you look at any of the latest data on that, I don't think that we're represented as the greatest country in the world by that data. So going by the data, I can't say that we would meet it just by numbers from a numbers standpoint. So currently, no. I think that we are in a very good position to move forward in a way that I feel would be good and productive and preservative and progress in the right way, in my opinion. And as I said earlier, I believe in true diversity and true equality, and that's what I'm fighting for. So, yeah.
Can I ask what your political stance is?
I don't identify with any singular political party, and that's not a cop-out either. I cannot find one political party, but for instance...
that's also not what she asked.
Wait, I'm sorry?
It's also not what she asked.
What did she ask?
Your political ideology. Yeah, your stance.
Democrat is not a political ideology.
Well, I wouldn't say that I would meet one particular political ideology. I just take bits and pieces and go from there. I've never sat down and said, all right, I'm this. And I've never looked into a political ideology and said, yeah, I meet those qualifications, quite a bit, I just bits and pieces from everywhere. That's more how most people are, but most people still label themselves as being this. But I don't think I gravitate towards any side more than the other.
On a political alignment chart, where on the right you have right wing, on the left you have left wing, and as you go up you get authoritarian, and as you go down you have libertarian. Which square would you be in?
Well, see, I agree with the libertarians on some things. I agree with the rights with the individuals on the right wing.
Right libertarian.
Sure. All right. Well, there you go.
Okay. So, to an extent, you're like me. I'm super liberal, but I'm conservative on a lot of things. So I'm like an oxymoron. Really, I'm a hippie, but I don't smoke weed anymore.
I would say I'm a libertarian when it comes to freedom of association and the free market. I don't think that I don't think I've been educated enough on the Libertarian Party or the Libertarian platform, whatever you call it, to say that I'm purely that or gravitate more than that in most things. But I know that I agree with them on the freedom of association, and I agree with them on their idea of what the free market should be. And I think that's the basis for their platform. So yeah.
I think some people who are political are stupid because, like, when Fort McMurray got set on fire, if you know what Fort McMurray is, are you aware of Fort McMurray?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've heard of the specific incident you're speaking about.
It was on fire for like 4 weeks. And then it rained and flooded. And lots of people are saying that it was karma. Lots of NDP, New Democratic Party, are saying that. That it was karma coming to them because they, like, worked in the oil sands and...
Well, I mean, that's just as illogical as the Christians after the gay nightclub shooting saying, you reap what you sow, right? I think both of those things are just as illogical because you're relying on a supernatural force to make your point, right?
Yeah, I don't really believe in karma because good things happen to bad people.
No, I don't think it's like, you do a bad thing and then you immediately receive a bad thing. It's more so you do a bad thing and then somewhere down the line, whether it's in 5 minutes or fucking 50 years, you're probably going to get your comeuppance eventually, right? Or you'll definitely get your comeuppance.
Karma doesn't necessarily rely on something supernatural. You could believe in some kind of naturalistic form of karma.
Oh.
Well, I mean, is it inconsistent to believe in karma and reject the supernatural?
No, I think that karma relies on the definite, right? It relies objectively that you will receive something negative happening to you, right? Or at least equally as negative as the thing you did. Let's say you go out and rape somebody, and then you fucking win the lottery. And this is a hypothetical, and I understand you could twist it in many different ways, but I think this could, this position has happened before. It may not necessarily winning the lottery, but, getting promoted, right? And then getting a cushy job, and you got away with it. You were never tried, and, you live out a pretty decent life, relatively decent life. You may stub your toe every fucking couple of years, and you may, witness a death or two.
None of that is necessarily true.
Well, they're
Karma karma need not be objective either. Karma could be more generalized. There's nothing inconsistent with saying that karma exists, but it's not always exact.
I thought I was always under the impression that the position was you will get exactly what you gave, right? Yeah, I mean, in terms of negativity or positivity.
Some religious ideas of karma are probably very much like that, but there's nothing inherent in the idea of karma that makes that necessary. One can believe in karma and be an atheist, and not believe in exact karma, and not believe in anything supernatural.
All right, how would you define karma?
Karma is people generally would get their comeuppance, right? You get what you that justice. I guess the most precise definition of karma is justice will come around to you.
Okay, well, I would say that this happened. This is a legitimate example. I know this happened almost exactly as I'm telling it to you. My great-grandfather, who he killed a black guy in a bar. I don't really remember the exact specifics, but he did do that, right? He fucking, I think he slit his throat or something of that nature. And throughout the rest of his life, and this is hearsay, although I did know him at the end, he lived a relatively decent life. He didn't he didn't get fucking run over. He didn't, I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't have anger issues and there weren't certain things that he brought about himself, but at the end of the day, he did.
I'm gonna go talk to a friend real quick.
Oh, I don't see
back.
how you could say that you'll get almost exactly what you give when, I mean, he killed a guy, and I think it was an illogical killing. The only reason he got away with it was due to the positions of society at the time, and it was in the South, I think. So you get my point, right?
So what?
Doesn't that violate your rule of karma, right? You get what you
I don't
get.
have a rule of karma. I don't believe in karma.
Okay, well. Mark is out now doing another hangout, or? And he left. Great. Okay.
Sorry? Who's Mark?
The guy that was just in here and left.
Yo, Lindsay, are you there? Lindsay Lou. Yeah, Seth, do you want to pop in for at least a minute or two?